geography, history, politics, economy, culture, and daily life in one neutral video. Iran is a country with one of the oldest continuous civilizations in the world, but it is also a modern state that appears frequently in today's news. In this video we will take a calm, neutral look at Iran's geography, history, political system, economy, culture, and everyday life, to understand the basics behind the headlines. Iran is located in Western Asia, in a region often called the Middle East. It shares borders with Iraq and Turkey to the west, Armenia and Azerbaijan to the northwest, Turkmenistan to the northeast, Afghanistan and Pakistan to the east, and has coastlines on the Caspian Sea in the north and the Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman in the south. The landscape includes high mountain ranges such as the Zagros and Alborz, large plateaus, deserts like the Dashti Kaveh and Dashti Lut, and fertile areas along rivers and the Caspian coast. The climate varies from snowy winters in the mountains to very hot summers in the central deserts. Iran's population is around 85 million people. The capital, Tehran, is a vast city at the foot of the Alborz Mountains. Other major cities include Mashhad in the northeast, Isfahan and Shiraz in the center and south, Tabriz in the northwest and Awaz in the oil-rich southwest. Historically, Iran corresponds to much of what used to be called Persia. Ancient Persian empires such as the Achaemenids, founded by Cyrus the Great in the 6th century BCE, ruled a vast territory stretching from the Mediterranean to parts of India. Later dynasties, including the Parthians and the Sasanian Empire, continued this tradition of powerful states with distinctive art, architecture, and administration. After the Arab-Muslim conquest in the 7th century, the region gradually became majority Muslim, but Persian language and culture remained strong and influenced the wider Islamic world. The Safavid dynasty, beginning in the 16th century, made Twelver Shia Islam the official religion of the state, a decision that still shapes Iran's identity today. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Iran under the Qajar dynasty faced internal weakness and pressure from European powers such as Russia and Britain. Parts of its territory were lost, and foreign influence grew in trade and politics. In the early 20th century, the constitutional revolution led to the creation of a parliament, but political power remained unstable. In 1925, Reza Shah Pahlavi came to power, founding the Pahlavi dynasty and launching a program of modernization and centralization. His son, Mohammad Reza Shah, ruled after World War II and pursued closer ties with Western countries, land reforms, and rapid development. At the same time, opposition grew over issues such as authoritarian rule, inequality, corruption, and the role of foreign powers, especially after a 1953 coup supported by foreign intelligence services removed a popular prime minister. In 1979, a broad movement of protests and strikes led to the collapse of the monarchy. The Iranian Revolution brought Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini and his supporters to power, and the Islamic Republic of Iran was established. The new system combined republican institutions, such as an elected president and parliament, with powerful religious authorities. Shortly after the revolution, Iran fought a long and devastating war with neighboring Iraq from 1980 to 1988, which caused massive casualties and destruction. Since then, Iran's politics have continued to evolve through periods of tension and reform, with different factions competing over the balance between religious authority, elected institutions, social freedoms, and relations with the outside world. Today, Iran's political system is a unique mix of theocratic and republican elements. At the top is the supreme leader, a religious figure who has significant authority over the armed forces, key state institutions, and broad policy directions. The president is elected by popular vote and heads the executive branch, managing the government's day-to-day affairs. The parliament, called the Majlis, passes laws, while bodies such as the Guardian Council review legislation and approve or reject candidates for elections. There is also an assembly of experts that, in theory, oversees the supreme leader. Political parties and groups exist, but they face legal and practical limits, and the range of officially allowed candidates is filtered through the system. Human rights organizations and some governments have criticized Iran for restrictions on political opposition, media freedom, and certain social rights, while Iranian officials often frame these issues in terms of national independence, security, and their interpretation of Islamic principles. Economically, Iran is rich in natural resources, especially oil and natural gas. The country has some of the world's largest reserves and is a major producer. Oil revenues have played a central role in state budgets and development plans since the 20th century. Iran also has industries in sectors such as petrochemicals, automobiles, steel, cement, textiles, and food processing, and it has significant agricultural production, including pistachios, saffron, fruits, grains, and livestock. However, the economy has faced many challenges. International sanctions linked to Iran's nuclear program and other policies have limited trade, investment, and access to financial systems. Domestic issues such as inflation, unemployment, state control over key sectors, and corruption have also affected growth. Ordinary people often feel these pressures through rising prices, currency fluctuations, and difficulties in finding stable, well-paid work. Everyday life in Iran varies between big cities, smaller towns, and rural areas, but some patterns are common. In cities like Tehran, high-rise apartment blocks, busy highways, and crowded streets are part of the urban landscape. Many people commute long distances by car, bus, or metro. Cafes, shops, and markets attract young and old, while parks and mountain trails offer spaces for leisure. Education is widespread. Literacy rates have risen significantly over recent decades, and universities in major cities host large numbers of students, including many women. In smaller towns and villages, life is more closely connected to agriculture, local crafts, and family networks. Houses may have courtyards and gardens, and traditional social structures remain strong. Family and social life are central to Iranian culture. Extended families often keep in close contact, and gatherings over tea and meals are common. Hospitality is highly valued. Offering guests tea, sweets, and fruit is a strong social norm. Public social norms are influenced by Islamic rules and state regulations. For example, dress codes such as mandatory hijab for women are enforced to varying degrees, especially in public institutions. At the same time, there are differences in how strictly these norms are followed in different regions, generations, and social groups, and debates about them are an important part of contemporary Iranian society. Culturally, Iran has made major contributions to world civilization. The main language is Persian, or Farsi, written in a modified Arabic script. Persian literature includes famous poets such as Hafez, Sa'di, Ferdowsi, and Rumi, whose works are still read and quoted widely. Modern Iranian cinema has gained international recognition, winning awards at major film festivals through directors known for their poetic, socially conscious style. Music ranges from classical Persian traditions with instruments like the tar and setar to pop, rock, and fusion genres, though some forms of music and public performances face restrictions. Food is a rich part of everyday life. Iranian cuisine uses rice, bread, herbs, vegetables, nuts, and meat in a variety of dishes. Popular meals include kebabs served with rice and grilled tomatoes, stews such as gourmet sabzi and fezenjan, dishes with saffron, pomegranates, and dried limes, and a wide range of breads like lavash and sangak. Tea is the most common drink and is often served with sugar cubes or sweets. Desserts and snacks may include pastries with nuts and syrup, as well as fresh and dried fruits. Religion plays a significant role in Iran. The majority of the population are Shia Muslims, particularly Twelver Shia, and religious events and holidays shape the calendar. Important days include the month of Ramadan, when many people fast from dawn to sunset, and Ashura, which commemorates the martyrdom of Imam Hussein. At the same time, Iran is home to Sunni Muslims, Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, and members of other religious communities, although their numbers are smaller. The Persian New Year, Nowruz, is one of the most important celebrations. It marks the beginning of spring and is observed not only in Iran but across a wider cultural region. Families set up a special table called the haftseen with symbolic items and visit relatives and friends during the holiday period. Iran's position in global politics is often discussed because of its regional influence, its nuclear program and its relations with neighboring countries, the United States, Europe, Russia, and China. There have been periods of negotiation and agreements, as well as times of heightened tension and sanctions. People around the world have also followed internal events in Iran, including protests and debates over social and political issues. Views on these topics differ widely, and there is no single narrative that captures all perspectives. For people outside the region, Iran can sometimes appear only as a headline about geopolitics, but it is also home to millions of individuals with their own hopes, worries, and everyday routines. Understanding its geography, long history, political structure, economy, and culture helps create a more balanced picture than stereotypes alone. This has been a quick overview of Iran, an ancient land in a modern world. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe for more country profiles and neutral explainers, and tell us in the comments which country or topic you would like us to cover next.